I'd like to welcome Gill-Marie Stewart to the Romaniac Sparkle, and I'm going to ask you, Jill, to tell us a little bit about your major writing highlights so far.
Major writing highlights, especially this year, is bringing out my young adult books under Gill-Marie Stewart. Music and Lies came out at the beginning of the year, and I've just brought out the second book.
What's the toughest thing so far on your writing journey? What's been the hardest thing to deal with?
The hardest thing is talking about yourself and promoting yourself. And one thing that's helped with that is being part of a group called Paisley Piranhas, because they bully you into doing things.
And what are your plans for the next book or the next few books?
I have two plans. I'm going to write the third in this series, which is going to be called No More Lies. And I was delighted last night I was shortlisted for the Elizabeth Googe Award.
Right.
And that was for my women's contemporary book, A Life in Film. So I've got to get that one finished too.
Fantastic, thank you very much. That's excellent. Thank you. Thanks for coming. And welcome, Fenella Forster.
Thank you.
This morning to our Romaniac Sparkle, and this morning the first thing we're going to ask you about is what was your major writing highlight so far?
Major writing highlight so far. It's my first novel that was published a couple of months ago called Annie's Story, and it's a dream come true. I've wanted to have a novel published all my life, and I've had a couple of non-fiction published, but this was the absolute highlight, to think that this is here, and I'm very proud of it.
Yeah. What's been toughest as you've gone along the way?
Toughest is actually, I started this 10 years ago, and it grew into a trilogy, and I was running a business at the same time, and I was doing Open University, and I was selling a business, buying the business back, all the time doing this trilogy and trying to, if you're doing a trilogy, you need to link things. So this has to be linked to book 2, which has to be linked to book 3, then book 1 has to go over to book 3. If I'd known it was going to take me 10 years with doing all the other things as well, I don't think I ever would have dared tackle it.
No.
But I loved every single minute of it, even the frustrations and the worry and the mistakes that I made along the way. It just was it's fantastic. So book 3 is just finished. Book 2 will be coming out this year.
And what are the plans after book 3?
And I'm going to do a rom-com, the next one, just to give because this is all gritty stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do a rom-com just to give myself a little breather, because I thought when I started with this 10 years ago, I thought I was going to sit down and write a rom-com. And I thought, where has all this stuff come on? This emotion and babies given away and all sorts of terrible things. And so I'm going to have a complete change, but then I have another big saga story coming up, which is my own big family secret connected to my name.
Oh,
the new name,
Fenella Forster. Look forward to that. Thank you very much. Thank you. That was good. Hello Vanessa, Romaniac Vanessa.
Hi.
In the Sparkle Corner. Can you tell us about your highlights of your writing life so far?
I think it was maybe going to meet my agent for the first time. I'd kind of given up on that first book, it'd gone in the bottom drawer, and I got an email completely out of the blue, 6 months after I originally submitted to that agency and got rejected, from an agent called Juliet Mushins, who'd just been promoted to agent, and said, hello, I remember your novel, can I see the full manuscript? She read it, emailed me again, said I really like it, can you come up and meet me? And it was a dream come true, travelling up to London, and the offices were everything you'd expect from an agent office, book-lined, glamorous, full of glamorous people. And then she said, there and then, I'd like to represent you. And I was like, yes, it's wonderful.
That's a lovely story. What's been the toughest part so far?
Rejection. Because again, I thought, you get an agent, that's it, I've made it, that's it, a mega book deal's coming my way. But it didn't work like that, and I've had a book that didn't sell, that's now gone back in the bottom drawer, so that's tough. But, onwards, upwards.
And what's happening next?
I'm just editing at the moment a book. I've kind of moved direction. I'm writing a psychological thriller, kind of domestic noir called The Murder House, which has now just gone back to my agent, so I'm just waiting for edits and responses on that, so fingers crossed.
Yes! Yay!